Hey everyone, it's Rebecca with Team Ladybug, and I'm here to show what we got in the July Beetle Box and a demo. So the first thing is these really cute donut decals and some drips on there. Then the second thing is an extra in the Bake Shop Sprinkles Gel Polish collection. This is really pretty with the different colored speckles, and it's called Jeweled Shortbread. Then the third thing, which is really big, is these huge box of holiday Heartbreak crystals in all different sizes and a bunch of different shapes. You can create a lot with this. So let's have some fun with these crystals. I did a little snowflake here and a Santa and some donut drips. Okay, so let's get into what we used. Used the Queen Ladybug Red Carpet Restore Repair Rubber Base Gel, and then I also used the whipped cream gel in white and the whipped cream gel in black. And for the three colors that I used for the nails, I've got ones from the Bake Shop Sprinkles Gel Polish collection, Jeweled Shortbread, Blue Moon Funfetti, and Strawberry Cake Pop. I have got the decals here, and we're going to use those. I've also used a Gotti Fresh Canvas 01G for the white, and I grabbed a glitter from a Beetle Box from a couple months ago, Petal, for a little bit of glitter on here. Gotti Nails Professional LED Super Glue, and of course the Holiday Heartbreak Crystal Collection. Okay, so let's get into it. I pre-painted the nails Jeweled Shortbread, Blue Moon Funfetti, Strawberry Cake Pop, and then I added the Velvet Touch Matte Top Gel over these. Okay, so in choosing crystal for the snowflake, I went with the rectangle shape, trying to see something that would work for what I was going for. And then I also used the smallest crystals I could find and put a bunch of those on my palette. I added the super glue and then put the crystal horizontal. You could do vertical depending on the shape of your nail or how it fit best. And then just flash cure that so it stays in place. Okay, for the next part, you're going to take the Gotti glue and you're going to add dots. You can use a brush or a dotting tool and go all the way around the edge, only on the corners, and then also add a dot on the long edge. Get your crystal picker and take the tiniest crystals that we've already got and add one crystal for every spot that you put a glue. There are 6 branches on this snowflake, so I am making sure to have the crystals lined up and adding those to the corners and the edges of this rectangle. So that's the base foundation. Okay, for the next part, we're going to add little glue diamonds. I do recommend using a brush for this part because it's just so much easier to paint a diamond shape with a brush. You already have the base, so you know where to start each one. And you're just going to do the tiniest little one to fit the rest of the crystals, so don't overdo the glue on this part. Then go ahead and get your crystal picker and put 2 more crystals after the first one and a final crystal on the end for your little snowflake branch. You're going to continue this all the way around where you put the little diamond glue spots so that you end up having 6 branches of the snowflake. I'm going to go ahead and finish this off camera and I'll be back. Okay, so now I'm just double checking the placement to make sure they're all evenly spaced. It looks really cute. Okay, looking at this, I decided that I wanted to add a little bit more to it. To add a little pizzazz, I'm going to add a second color crystal. Since we have pink in the box, let's add that one to it. So add the glue dots all the way around, and now we're going to get the crystals, and I am going with the smaller version. I think it's a little bit bigger than the original snowflake branch ones, but add a crystal in between each one where you place the dots of glue, and it really just gives it a little bit of a finishing touch, I think. Hopefully you do too. Once you're happy with the way that looks, go ahead and cure. Okay, for the next nail, we are going to do another crystal. So you're going to take the glue and add a triangle shaped bit of glue to that because we're going to use the heart crystal upside down. Grab your crystal and put it on the nail and flip it around so that it looks like a Santa's hat. And that's where we're going with this. Make sure it's centered and cure it. Okay, so then you're going to get your palette and you're going to add some of the strawberry cake pop to your palette, a little bit of that. You're also going to need some of the whipped cream gel in white and some of the whipped cream gel in black. You need really the tiniest amount of black. That's all you need. It's, minuscule. Then go ahead and get the white, and you need a little bit more of the white. So do just a bit. You can always add more later. Anyway, you're going to start off with the top of the hat. You want to go right up to the crystal part. This is going to be either a star shape or a cloud shape or some sort of round top poofy part of Santa's hat shape. Then go to the bottom and you want to connect the crystal to the nail. So since we're using whipped cream gel to make the dotting parts of this, and it does have a tack-free finish, we don't have to worry about top coating this, but you do have to cure between layers. So once you have your basic shape and you're happy with it, you can go ahead and cure. So I am doing multiple layers on this, which you will have to do too. I'm going to finish up doing this and adding the dots, and I'll come back right before my last cure and let you know where we are. Okay, so I'm back. I'm on the third and final layer. It didn't really take as long as I thought to get it, but instead of making you watch like me just do dots over and over again, I think you get the idea of just doing a base layer with your design, then doing a second layer to fill it in a bit, and then your final layer. Okay, after that's cured, you're going to come back in with your black whipped cream gel. You are just going to do 2 tiny eyes with your dotting tool just to give him that, and then go ahead after you're done with that and cure. Get some whipped cream gel on your brush and draw a tiny little mustache. You can draw it so the mustache is flat. You can draw it so the mustache is turned up. You can make the mustache go down. However you want to make his little tiny mustache, go ahead and do that. I decided to make him a little bit more happy and make the mustache go up. Then, after we've got the mustache done, we're going to do the beard. So get a little bit more and just go ahead, start close to the top but not touching the mustache, and do a little mouth area, sort of a half parentheses, and then come down and do a squiggle. It doesn't matter if your hand is steady or not for this point, you're doing a squiggle for Santa's beard, and then you're going to fill it in with a little bit more of the whipped cream gel. I am filling this in, and then I'm going to make sure it has a basic shape, and then I'm going to cure. Coming back in, I'm just adding texture to his beard, and I'll do this a couple of times, to get what I want and cure in between. Okay, next grab your dotting tool and take some of the strawberry cake pop off the palette. Add little pink rosy cheeks to Santa. Give his face some shape. And also add the lips to Santa with the brush and cure. So for the next nail, we're going to use the decals. I am going to take a half of the donut and put that on the nail over on the edge there. This is why I love using gloves to press these down. Make sure it's flat. Grab another decal. You could use any one of them. I want to go a little bit the same sort of size because I'm making these look like they're actual donuts, hopefully, with a little bit of 3D work. Go ahead and get your Velvet Touch matte top gel. Cover your decals in the gel so that they're secure and cure. I'm now using a 9mm brush. I'm going to take some of the black whipped cream gel. I want the brush to be thoroughly coated, and I'm also going to leave a little bit on the palette for the next part. Here I'm going to take the black whipped cream gel on the 9mm brush, and I'm just outlining one donut. Don't do both of them at the same time, just do one. So this is sort of a cheat technique for not one stroke, but adding shading to something to make it look like it's not so flat on the nail, or to make a decal look a little bit more realistic. You're going to outline this and then come back with the one stroke brush. We're going to take matte gel, top gel, which you already have as the base over this. You're going to put some on your brush. You're going to rub it back and forth to get the brush saturated. Then you're going to take and blur the line. So you want to go around, make sure you're following the line of the donut. Just keep going around and around and fill the brush up with the matte as needed, and you're going to see that it's blending. It's blending in and making it softer to give it a little bit of a shadow and a soft edge on your decal. As we're going along here, we're just going to add the matte and keep blending until you feel that it's blended the way you want, and you can see that it looks 3D. Okay, so I am looking at the nail, and there's a part here where I think that I wiped away a little bit too much of the black, and that is a possibility for you to do over wiping and it doesn't really look 3D in one spot. So what you can do, go ahead and grab a little bit more black and add it there just to balance it out and then cure. Okay, so we're going to do the inside of the half donut for a little bit of shadow there. Then we're going to do the outside of that donut and make sure you go all the way around. You had to have that part cured. I'm sorry, the other donut had to be cured, because if you didn't have that cured, at this point when you're going to blur this, you'd just be blurring the whole thing together and it wouldn't work well. I'm going to go ahead and finish this off camera and blur everything. Okay, so I accidentally cured the outside without the inside, so I had to file that off, and now I'm finishing blurring the inside of the donut, and it looks pretty good, so cure. Okay, for this next nail we're going to do the drip. So I'm gonna grab the decal and take it off and stick it on the nail right close to the top, but not at the edge. I don't want it at the very top edge, and this is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just gonna cut a couple of slits in here so it fits around the nail better. Take the smushy tool or silicone tool and push this down. You could do it with any sort of smooth smushy tool that you've got, or even your fingers if they're gloved, but I wanted you to see what I was doing here. So I'm just using the silicone tool and making sure that's really flat. Get your matte top coat. Come back in, cover the nail with the matte top coat, and then cure. Okay, so now I'm going to use the fresh canvas from Gotti Nails White, and I'm also using jeweled shortbread from the box. Take your white gel and outline where you want to do your drip. We're doing a double drip effect on this nail. Adding the white behind this, make sure that you do it pretty thin. This also ensures that you only have to do one coat of the jeweled shortbread on here, and it'll give it a little bit of an outline. So do you see how the pink decal has a darker pink or a lighter pink with it? So there's two colors on that, and we sort of want to do that with this drip. We want to find how it fits on the nail, depending on the shape of your nail and how you want to do this. Your drips are going to go down the side a little bit, extending beyond what the drips are in the center, because this is, again, like it was dripped originally with the decal, and we're doing a double drip. So you're going to want to do like maybe a little drip in the center that's coming down and make it sort of flow with the shape of the drips that are already there to make it conforming. Fill it in, and then once this whole area is filled in and the shape that I want, I will cure the white gel and finish it off with the next step. So I haven't cured it, but I decided there should be an extra drop in here in the center. So I'm just adding one more drippy drop and then cure. Okay, once that's cured, you can go ahead and get your jeweled shortbread. You're going to add this from your palette and coat it all over where you have the white drops. Go ahead and fill it in. This part really doesn't take very long to do because you've already got the outline there, and you're just filling in with speckles. I'm trying to make sure the speckles are all evenly dispersed, but it goes well. The small speckles contrasting with the big speckles in the decals. And once you get that all finished and you've got everything covered with the jeweled shortbread or whatever color you decide to do, you're going to cure this, and then we'll be back. So we're back with the donut decal now. You could leave it plain if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. I want to add drips to this one as well because I want to do more jeweled shortbread drips. The decals themselves all seem to have like 3 drops, 3 sets of drips. So I'm going to do at least 3 on this nail and follow that pattern. But I'm also trying to fit the drops in kind of where the decals already are. So I don't want to cover them up completely, but I do want some flow, like drip flow on this nail. And I'm going to go down the side because I like to see drips down the sides of nails. It's probably where it would drip if you actually had stuff on your fingers. It always drips down the sides. And then I'm just going to fill this all in with the white, and once that is done, I will be able to fill it in and do the jeweled shortbread on here. Your drip shapes don't have to be symmetrical. They don't have to be perfect. That's the beauty of this. You don't have to be like an expert drip maker. Just be happy with your shape, redefine where you need to, and then go ahead and cure once you're satisfied with the way it looks. This is where I'm adding the Restore Repair Red Carpet Rubber Base Gel. You're just going to add it to this drip nail. The double drip nail was a little thick and bumpy. So just add a thin layer of that and then do not cure. This is where I'm taking the Petal iridescent glitter, and I'm going to add it into the rubber base gel. It's not cured, so we can move this around a little bit and make sure that we add a little bit of glimmer here and there. I put a little too much on this side, so I'm just spreading it out. I don't even need to add any more than the 1 bit of glitter. I'm going to hold it upside down and let it level out, then cure. Okay, I'm back with the donut. So I did the white really thin, and now I'm adding jeweled shortbread. I'm trying to do that pretty thin as well because we're not adding glitter to this nail. It already has the donut decals on it, so it doesn't need any glitter. We're just going to go ahead and finish with the jeweled shortbread and make sure it's on all the areas that we want and make sure that it's pretty thin. Once that's done, we can go ahead and cure. Okay, so we're back with the double drip nail, and I'm checking to see if it has any bumps, and it does. So I'm just going to file with the buffer and make sure that it's smooth in all the spots. It's sometimes hard to file on these tip holders, but I am managing to get it done. You're going to want to file this until it's smooth, and I'll come back when I'm done with that. Alright, I'm just going to come back and wipe off all the dust. Then I'm going to come in with Ladybug Luster Wet Look Top Gel. I'm going to coat this whole nail in the top gel and make it shiny. And then once that is done, I'll hold it upside down, let it level out for a little bit, and then I'll cure. The donut nail is smooth. We're going to add top gel to this and just apply it. Once it's all covered, then I'm gonna again hold the nail upside down, let it level out, and then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna cure. And that's the set. I added one more plain nail of the jeweled shortbread to go with this, and I made that one shiny, so there's 3 shiny and 2 matte. But I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and I hope you continue to get the Beetle Box, or if you haven't got it yet, you should try it out because you'll always get something neat. And it's fun to make new things with products that you didn't have.